So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest.
Can you believe what happened during the House Oversight Committee hearing? Representative Pete Stauber, a former law enforcement officer with 23 years of experience, strongly challenged Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The discussion covered major issues, including a police precinct being destroyed during unrest and comments comparing law enforcement to the Gestapo. Then the exchange became even more intense when Stauber directly accused the governor of misrepresenting his military service, backing up his claim with evidence. If you're interested in accountability, public service, and law enforcement issues, this is a moment worth watching. Let's take a look at what happened.
Thank you very much, Governor Walz. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I ask you to keep your remarks brief. I got a lot to go through. As you know, I spent 23 years as a law enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota. You know that, right? You know that, yes or no?
I don't know.
Question. It's not a trick question.
I don't know.
I'll answer it for you. 23 years in Duluth.
Thank you for that.
So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest, right? As I watched lawlessness devastate Los Angeles this past week, I was reminded of your failure to protect Minnesota from similar riots. Governor Walz, on May 29th of 2020, during your own press conference, you described your response to the riots during the 2020 Summer of Love as, quote, an abject failure. Governor, I couldn't agree with you more.
That's out of context.
And on May 17th, 2025, you were at the law school, graduating Minnesota Law School, talking to the graduates. And we've talked about this. You called the enforcement of illegal immigrants a modern-day Gestapo. You've been asked 3-4 times if you would rescind that, and you won't. Will you rescind it? This is like the 5th time, yes or no?
Congressman, I was talking to law students about due process, and I said
you
you took an oath to due process.
Governor, was there a violent al-Shabaab terrorist who entered our country illegally arrested in Minneapolis last year? Yes, there was. Were there 3 illegal child predators arrested by ICE in St. Paul earlier this year?
I certainly hope so. That's their job.
Yes, there was. Are the officers who arrested the al-Shabaab terrorists or the child predators, are they Nazis or the Gestapo?
The tactics of wearing
They're
masks.
not.
The tactics of wearing masks.
Why did you tell us that they were the Gestapo? Do you believe that any of the violent illegal immigrants I have mentioned have a right to be in this country?
I don't know what their immigration status was.
They're illegal, violent criminals that ICE took off the streets of Minneapolis.
You did not say, Congressman, what their status was.
Governor, last week, law enforcement officers in the state of Minnesota took 900 pounds of meth off the streets. Do you support that?
We certainly do.
Do you know that ICE assisted in that arrest, those arrests and investigations? Do you support the assistance of ICE in that enforcement action? Yes or no?
I can't speak to that because we were not included in the briefing.
You don't know if ICE was part of it? I'm telling you they were.
I don't have that data. I would have to trust you.
Will you apologize to our constituents and law enforcement officers for making them and their families less safe with your incendiary actions?
I'll congratulate them that they helped us work on the largest pension bill for
Governor.
Minnesota law enforcement in
Governor.
30 years.
Claiming my time. Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
Congressman, for 24 years, I carried.
No. What weapons did you carry in war?
What did you carry?
What did...
uniform?
I
You
tell you
know I
what,
misspoke.
Governor, you're
You know I
barking down
misspoke.
the wrong tree, okay?
You know I
You
misspoke.
lied to the Minnesotans. You said that you carried weapons in war. That's
Chairman.
stolen valor. You know what? My wife served 25, 24
Chairman,
years in the
a little
military,
respect for the
and
witness.
she's an Iraq war veteran.
You know what I
He
mean?
was
This
over in
hectoring is not-
the war
not-
zone. That's
On a
stolen
point of-
valor, and I'm so
point of order,
disgusted with
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
And so are the people that you served
Point
with.
of order.
Point of order.
That's stolen valor.
Just a minute.
Stolen
I
valor.
don't know.
You didn't carry weapons
That's
in
not questionable.
war.
Congressman, my 24 years with
That's not
public
the
You
question.
many, many
apologize
years.
for lying.
Objection.
You
No,
apologize for lying.
Objection.
Hold on, pause.
That's not questioning a witness. That's not questioning a witness. You think-
Point of order. State your point, Mr. Ekman.
No, you're
State your point. There we go.
You're hectoring. You're hectoring. You're hectoring.
State your
Governor, you didn't carry
That's
weapons
not-
in war, did you?
State your point.
You didn't carry
Proceed.
weapons in war,
24
did
seconds.
you?
Congressman,
You
you know I
didn't carry
misspoke.
weapons in war, yes or no?
you.
You lied. Governor, what rank did you retire at?
I
What rank
served,
did you retire at?
Congressman, I served my battalion as the command sergeant
That's
major.
not the
and
question
for
I asked.
pay-
What rank did you retire at?
I retired as a master sergeant in
Okay,
EA.
here's your coin that says you retired at a command sergeant major. That's
Says I
your
wore
challenge
that.
coin.
It says I wore the rank.
This is, that's right. You didn't retire, did you?
I did retire after 24 years.
Here is a picture of your coin, your challenge coin. I'm disgusted with you. I'm just.
Chairman, the time is expired.
You lie when the
Congressman,
story is
time is
better.
expired.
You called half Trump supporters Nazis and fascists, and you know what? That's why the Minnesota Police and Peace Association did not support you in the last election.
Well, I support them.
Action.
And-
Gentleman's time
On behalf of
expired.
on behalf of the folks from the land of rocks and cows, thank you. Now you're back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Tenney from York.
I honestly don't know how Governor Walz managed to sit through that hearing without looking completely uncomfortable. Representative Pete Stauber didn't simply challenge him. He methodically pressed him on issue after issue. Right from the start, Stauber highlighted his 23 years of service as a police officer in Duluth. When Walz responded as though he wasn't familiar with Stauber's background, it came across as dismissive and set the stage for a tense exchange. Then came the discussion about the 3rd Precinct. Stauber referenced the widely known images of the precinct engulfed in flames during the unrest of 2020 and asked whether that could truly be described as a peaceful protest. Walz attempted to explain his position, but Stauber pointed to Walz's own past characterization of the situation as an abject failure. For many observers, the destruction of a police station remains one of the most striking symbols of that period. The hearing became even more heated when Stauber brought up comments comparing ICE agents and law enforcement officers to a modern-day Gestapo. He repeatedly asked Walz whether he would withdraw or apologize for those remarks. Walz declined, and the disagreement highlighted a deep divide over how law enforcement is viewed and discussed. Perhaps the most contentious moment involved questions about Walz's military record. Stauber argued that Walz had previously made statements suggesting wartime service and challenged whether those statements accurately reflected his record. Stauber, whose family has military ties, framed the issue as one of honesty and respect for those who served in combat. The debate continued over Walz's retired rank in the National Guard. Stauber displayed a challenge coin and argued that Walz had represented himself as a command sergeant major, despite retiring at a lower rank after not completing all requirements associated with the higher position. Stauber portrayed this as a serious matter of credibility and accountability. Throughout the hearing, Stauber remained aggressive in his questioning and refused to let answers go unchallenged. Supporters would say he held the governor accountable and forced direct responses on difficult topics. Critics, of course, may view the exchange differently. What do you think? Did Stauber successfully expose contradictions in Walz's record, Or was this simply another heated political confrontation? Share your thoughts below.